We're live. What's going on, Ohio Cannabis Report family? It's your boy Gerald Moore Jr. Tuning in for another episode of the Ohio Cannabis Report Live, bringing you guys an exclusive interview with a cannabis pioneer, somebody in the cannabis industry here in Ohio that has been doing a lot of work for a long time. He's a cannabis educator, an entrepreneur, great insights to what's going on currently in the Ohio cannabis and hemp landscape. So we're going to have Josh Crozier on here in a little bit. So I'm just going to warm up everybody. Please make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Again, this channel is for entertainment and educational purposes only. We are not doctors. We are not lawyers. And this is an independent media platform. So again, thank you guys for all the support. I think we're up to like 123 subs. So again, I restarted this whole platform from scratch. I had another page. So I started this one from scratch. So I thank you for all 122, 123 subs. I'm going to keep bringing you guys more and more content as we keep growing. Again, there's a lot going on in the cannabis industry. There's a lot going on globally. Just in everything happening. So, I try to keep my hand on the pulse of things as much as possible, and also lean on other people that are in the same industry or in the same boat. So we're going to have Josh on here in a minute. Until then, I'm going to look and see if there's actually, we're going to do a little programming. My nonprofit, Green Environmental Outreach, is a 501c3 nonprofit based in Springfield, Ohio. We provide wraparound services. We provide education in environmental justice, sustainability, and help improve different policy initiatives for urban, rural communities. And so we are a grassroots 501c3. We started at around the same time as COVID-19. So we help provide healthcare clinics and food distribution, volunteerism, and stuff like that. So here's our website, gononprofit.org. We're always accepting donations. We are not heavily funded by anybody, so we try to win grants and do projects and get donations. So we're always looking for volunteers and people to help support our initiative. Green Environmental Outreach's mission statement at Green Environmental Outreach GO: we empower underserved communities through environmental sustainability, education, and wellness. Based in Springfield, Ohio, we turn neglected spaces into vibrant gardens, provide free health resources, and uplift families through hands-on learning and advocacy. Together, we're building a greener, healthier, and more just future. Some of our focus areas: community health and wellness, environmental sustainability and education, resource distribution and community support, advocacy and leadership development. Here's some of our photos from our garden, some of our board members. Here's some of our volunteers doing the community cleanup. Here's us in the garden. We have pollinators. We had somebody destroyed this, but we had a bird bath. Here's our garden. Also, one of the interesting things, these cloth pots were actually recycled from a cannabis cultivator, because the cannabis cultivators can only use this once. Also, we took the soil of some from a cannabis cultivator as well and implemented that into our garden. Partnerships with other community organizations, some of our board members in the garden. Here's our CEO, founders, and myself, Morgan. So we've been doing a lot of great work in Springfield. We recently partnered and became a part of a coalition. And so we're doing a lot more work. We do have a forum. I'm looking for people that are interested in writing about environmental issues or sharing their perspectives. We got a blog. You can donate here. So yeah, we official. We are official. But I want to thank everybody for all the support always. I know it's a lot going on right now with the government shutdown. So there needs to be, places for people to go and get resources. Um, I did want to. There was an article. When I ain't doing. If I didn't love you. There we go. I can hop on 5 minutes. It's still cool. Yep. Hop on whenever you can, my guy. I'm just killing time. We're going to go live. Matter of fact, before we pull you up, get my man right. So this is who we're getting ready to have on the show. Josh Crozier. Getting ready to have him on the show. So here's an article: WOUB, Public Media, PBS, NPR. Business owners, stakeholders weigh potential hemp regulations in Ohio, Nelsonville, Ohio. Um, It's been a hectic month for Josh Crozier. He's the co-owner of Appalachian Girls, a small hemp business based in Nelsonville. Earlier this month, Governor DeWine signed an executive order banning the sale of what he calls intoxicating hemp products that include the kinds of beverages and dried hemp flowers sold by Crozier. Crozier moves all of his products out of the state. 6 days later, a Franklin County judge temporarily blocked the ban. Now he's waiting for the state legislature to negotiate Senate Bill 56, which could transform his business model as he knows it today. It feels like for the last week and a half, that's all I've done is read and consume information on this, Crozier said. The legislation would make several changes to how intoxicating hemp products would be sold in the state by creating licenses for hemp dispensaries and restricting the products to those 21 years and older. The bill passed a House vote Wednesday and now returns to the Senate. If the Senate does not agree to the House changes, the proposed law could face another round of negotiations and a conference committee. How did we get here? Hemp and marijuana both come from the cannabis sativa plant species and contain some of the same compounds. Hemp has lower rates of naturally occurring delta 9 THC, the compound in marijuana known for producing a high. Intoxicating, let me see. I forgot to put my headphones in. Intoxicating hemp products entered the market after the passage of the 2018 Farm Bill, which removed hemp and cannabis derivatives with less than 0.3% of their dry weight and the language used in the law refers to a dry weight, the total amount of delta in a product. Companies could still sell products with enough delta 9 THC to produce an intoxicating effect. For example, a gummy weighing 3,000 milligrams or 3 grams could legally contain up to 9 milligrams of Delta 9 THC. The Farm Bill also didn't address the over 100 other compounds called cannabinoids found in hemp and marijuana plants, like Delta 8 and Delta 20. Similar effects as Delta 9. There's all products containing different forms of hemp THC were able to enter the market without violation. In 2022, the Food and Drug Administration issued a warning that Delta 8 products were not thoroughly regulated or tested for safety. It cited National Poison Control Center data, which found 41% of Delta 8 exposure cases affected patients less than 18 years old. DeWine's executive order banned all hemp products deemed intoxicating. A judge later postponed the ban, arguing there's allowed hemp companies to market and sell in a names. The progress towards new regulations in the State House. Of those proposed, Senate Bill 56 appears the most primed to reach the government. The bill would make key changes to both and the sale of hemp products in Ohio. Bill to create hemp dispensaries. Under the legislation, intoxicating hemp products will be sold in a newly formed hemp dispensaries licensed by the Division of Cannabis Control. That is Nuke Everything. I'm sorry for butchering it. The case of hemp-derived products is the owner of in Athens that sells hemp and tobacco products to lose many items if to propose hemp dispensaries, which will not be permitted to sell tobacco or vape products. Under SB 56, intoxicating hemp products would include any product containing more than 0.5 milligrams of Delta 9 per serving, Delta 9 THC per package, and more than 0.5 milligrams of non-Delta 9 THC per package. Said that the store will contain below the higher potency products make up the majority of customers. I don't think that that's going to work well for the majority of customers who are not buying stuff really below 20 milligrams. He said the people who are using it every day, that's just not going to cut it for them. Businesses can be grandfathered into the hemp license under the bill only if they sold hemp products before June 2025, and those products made up most of their income. Switchers argued hemp products offer an affordable alternative for working class customers and non-smokers, which may become less accessible if they're only sold in dispensaries. They're just trying to get by. She said people are dealing with chronic health conditions, chronic pain, recovery from drug addiction. I know a lot of people includes a 10% tax on licensed hemp dispensaries from the sale of intoxicating products. The total amount of income a business receives, subtracting any expenses. Bill tax on manufacturers' sale of the beverages, which the bill refers to as drink cannabinoid products. Those taxes may affect prices at which dispensaries choose to sell the products. Beverages will get different treatment. Said the proposed regulation, worst case scenario, he's not opposed to restricting to want companies marketing to kids, but SB 56 will require some major changes to his business, which mainly sells hemp beverages. We'll have to restructure our product line, he said. Will offer more milligram beverages to bars and restaurants. The bill introduces a different set of rules for what is called drinkable cannabis with under milligrams in restaurants and bars, while stronger products would only be sold in facilities with a Class C, quickly growing in popularity, and many craft breweries started to healthiest industry for the last 5 or 6 years. Owner of Vecchio Pub and Brewery, we've been trying to transition towards alternative beverages. Owner West End said in an email that she's seen a significant interest in non-alcoholic beverages in recent years. Just letting you know, sorry. Let me see. I don't know why my connection is instantly if your Wi-Fi. Yeah, Wi-Fi. Are you ready to go? Let me see. Turn off my Wi-Fi. I don't know why my Wi-Fi is so weak. I'll be right back. I'll let y'all finish reading this article. I don't know why my Wi-Fi is weak. StreamYard just want me to buy the next program too. That's why. That's really why they be hating on your boy. There we go. I got a little bit more. Let me know how we coming in. I don't know if is my headpiece working. Make sure my headpiece working. Josh, you in here? If you in here, let's get it on. Let's go. No, I think my stuff better. There we go.
Hey. How's it going?
The man, the myth, the legend. It's going, It's going.
Yeah. You're sounding good on here. When I was listening, I had my class listening a little bit while we were. So I'm still at school. A few of them stuck around for the day to
Okay.
listen to us for a little bit. But you're sounding great now.
All right, cool. Yeah. Go ahead.
At first, I didn't realize what you were reading. You were reading the WOUB, my interview there. Yeah. Great.
Yeah. I was giving a little quick rundown, you know what I mean? So I'm doing these YouTube lives. So we'll be live, people can join. But it'll save on YouTube and then we can share it out. But just wanted to get your perspective and viewpoint. I did see the article, so I figured before you hopped on, I'll give the watchers a briefing of what you do, who you are, and then allow you to go ahead and tap in and give your thoughts and opinions and what we need to do.
Yeah. Well, first off, thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure seeing you. As you know, how I feel about the work that you're doing. So thank you very much. You always have some new content and discussion available. So kudos to you for that. Every time I pick up my phone, there's something good going on to listen to. So right
Appreciate it.
now in Ohio. Um, it's just a choppy situation. We're
Mm-hmm.
damned no matter what way they turn with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Senate Bill 56, sure, it at least now it has some regulations for hemp to go on,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not very good ones, in my opinion. They're not very well thought out. Um, but even more damning is just the other end of Senate Bill 56, all the implications it has for marijuana people.
Right.
We've went backwards with this.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the no sharing of home grow is back on there. You know, one of the points that Tim Johnson first brought up to me was that this is a felony if you get caught selling hemp twice,
Right.
right? You could go sell alcohol repeatedly and
Mm-hmm.
get a misdemeanor.
Right.
And for that equivalent, you would get a felony 5 for
Mm-hmm.
hemp. So I don't know about how most Ohioans feel. I know how you feel about it because me and you have talked on a personal level.
Right.
Um, I see a lot of destruction with alcohol. I don't
For
I
sure.
don't deem alcohol to be nowhere near as safe as cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
And to entertain it, we're all trying to entertain this idea of regulate marijuana like alcohol.
Right.
Well, first off, I think there's no comparison. Like that shouldn't even be a thing. Cannabis shouldn't even come close to the regulations that we have on alcohol. However,
Mhm.
in order to get people's support, yeah, this is the slogan that we ran on, and we all agreed when we voted for issue 2. Regulate it like alcohol. But what
Right.
we're seeing is more strict regulations than alcohol by a
Mm-hmm.
long shot.
Right.
So, you know how many bars, and I hate to call out Athens, but just college bars in general. When we think about the sale to an underage person, they got it in their head like, okay, yeah, if you sell to a 6-year old, you're going to get a
Right.
felony for a hemp beverage. Well, you probably should if you're selling to a 6-year old. But let's talk about let's talk about how many sales of alcohols go out to 19 and 20-year-olds. We're
Right.
not talking about little children. We're talking about people that already get pawned off a drink. So
Mm-hmm.
now at a bar situation, um, and maybe I'm not looking into this fully. Maybe the bars don't get the felonies, but man, you got a packed bar, Athens, Halloween weekend. How many of those underage kids do you think got a beer in their hand? And how many felonies do you think they're issuing out for that?
Absolutely none. In terms
Yeah,
of the numbers, there may be a few that get caught, but yeah, I mean, and I think that's the problem too in Ohio, right? They use these terms. They use the term child, and it's like, are you talking about a 6-year-old and not 9-year-olds are just walking into the grocery store picking up, nerd rope gummy Delta 9 THC, or is that a 18, 19, 20-year-old that look like a grown adult?
yep,
And
it's
then,
true, man.
like, why not spend the money to educate your broader population about cannabis and hemp? Why not spend that money on studying the healthcare benefits of it instead of constantly just pouring money towards the criminalization aspects and the demonization aspects of what's going on? Why not pour into local farmers like yourself, local educators, and prop you up so you have all of the resources to, produce the best quality products?
Yeah, we're hoping though to try to take something positive out of this. I'm
Right.
hoping that we see a lax on the cultivation of the hemp products. Just to refresh your audience's memory here, in case they didn't know, Ohio's already got some of the strictest hemp cultivation laws. Right now, we're a total THC state, which means that I can sell you CBD flower, but
Right.
we can't even grow the cannabis to make our beverages. Our
Mm.
beverages are made from outside of the state's cannabis program.
Wow.
So if when this goes, the hemp
No, I
program,
mean, not to cut you off, like y'all have flour and pre-rolls, right?
yep, yep, but
And
like truly non-intoxicating, not THCA. I mean,
okay.
you would have to literally smoke 10 of them. You
Mm.
know, very opposite of what we're able to do through this, what they call the loophole that allows us to have 50 milligram THC beverages.
Okay.
So I don't consider it a loophole. I consider it, this is just what the law is, and
Right.
that's a federal law. Now in
Mhm.
Ohio, we can't grow it because our hemp laws are so strict.
Mm.
However, once this goes from the Ohio Department of Agriculture in January to, in our licenses should be coming from the USDA
Yeah.
after
Mhm.
January, which that may allow our local agriculturers to really benefit. So now
Right.
when you go to a vape store to buy a THCA flower at a vape store, it could potentially be fresh, very
Mhm.
nice,
Right.
locally grown product. So
Mm.
I'm curious as to see how these 400 hemp licenses shake out, because I mean the way I'm seeing it now, if I'm interpreting things right, we may be able to be growing that THCA flower,
Right.
and rightfully so. If it's allowed to be available, we should be allowed to produce it in Ohio's agricultural system.
For sure. Yeah, and that's one of the weirdest things that I've been trying to wrap my head around is that the fact that cannabis is an agricultural plant, the fact that Ohio is an agricultural state, and there wasn't a push for agriculture or hemp. I'm breaking up in that space. Um, am I clear on your end?
You're getting choppy. It just started out.
But yeah,
It must.
it's been pretty interesting to see all of this stuff just pan out. So what are you thinking? Obviously, as a small business, as an entrepreneur coming from Appalachia, what are you seeing? I mean, obviously, I'm in the city, right? So things move a little bit different out here as compared to you guys out in Athens and Appalachia. Um, what are you seeing from like people that benefit from your products? What are you hearing from those folks? I lost them. Technical difficulties. All good. We'll see if we can get him back in. He froze up. Go ahead and see if you could log back in. There we go. Uh, I have to log back in. But yeah, man, glad I got Josh on. Again, Josh is doing some great work with App Girls Cannabis. He's been to the State House multiple times, shared personal testimony from a small business. Obviously, you guys can hear the passion in his voice. He's also an educator at Hawking College. So he's preparing the next generation um, of students for cannabis, careers in cannabis. And so we need more people like him, you know what I mean, that are willing to step up to the plate, use their voices, use their knowledge to share. And again, these are bills. These aren't the law. The law right now is still issue two. The law right now is still cannabis is legal medicinally for medical reasons and adult recreational. You can still, if you're 21 years or older, go to the cannabis dispensary and purchase. You can still home grow up to 12 plants. These bills are trying to change the laws about how retailers can sell Delta 9, Delta 8. They're also trying to change over the medical and adult use program. Um, so yeah, let me see if we can get it back in here. So yeah, it's you know, we're in the weeds. We're in the weeds of the policy and legalese of all the shenanigans. Obviously they won't just let you smoke your weed in peace, right? They gotta put all these stipulations on it, put all these rules and barriers. They're in here, but it's part of doing live media, y'all. That's all good. It's all good in the hood. Mm. It's all good in the neighborhood. Yeah, we gotta get y'all some better internet over at Hawking. See, that's money from the cannabis industry that could be going to Hawking for better internet. Oh, looks like we lost him. I don't know why it's not connecting. I don't know why it's not connecting. But while we have this brief interruption, make sure y'all go to appgirlscannabis.com. Go support the homies over at App Girls Cannabis. Also, make sure you guys go on Instagram, like, comment, subscribe on our Ohio Cannabis Report page. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Also, comment on the video. Let me know what you guys like, what you want to hear more from. We look to have more interviews with folks in the near future. So, if you're somebody in the cannabis industry, whether I know a lot of people that work inside the industry don't necessarily want to talk on camera out of fear of retaliation. So again, we've talked to a lot of people in the industry that just kind of live in that fear because it is a gray area. So we do understand people's apprehensions of speaking publicly. Same with people who've been caught up with the law. And so again, we don't do this to catch anybody up. We do this for entertainment, educational purposes only. So we try to protect people as much as possible in terms of keeping them free from the law, right? Because there's a lot going on right now. So there we go.
I am sorry, my man. My
Yeah.
phone was not plugged in the warehouse all day, and then I lost you. I'm glad I got back. I'm on my laptop now, though. I
All
think
right, cool. You cool. You cool. Technical difficulties happen, but this is why we do it because we just move with the flow.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah,
So
just
what?
let people know more so, like, obviously about the company, how it started, how you got involved, how you've been involved in cannabis, what's going on in Athens, that area. Fill people in. Many people don't know about Appalachia, you know what I mean, and what's going on in the hills.
How long's it been since you were down here? I missed you the last couple times. I know you came maybe to a game with your kids or something, but
Yeah, I came with my son to a game a few weeks ago. We made it down.
well, you got to see some of the colors then. It's popping down here.
Mm-hmm.
The fall time is the best time to be here. I know you get to see it a little bit in the city's got trees too, but
Yeah.
man, the hillsides right now in Appalachia, um, the chlorophyll is leaving the leaves of the plants. So what we see is the cytokinins and the the tannins that are in that leaf aside from the chlorophyll. So really what we see is the green leaving, and you get to see a little bit more of the true color inside the leaf. So the abscission layer is forming between a leaf and a stem, which will allow that tree to drop that leaf. So they'll be on the trees for a little longer, but it sure is a spectacle to see. So I definitely encourage anybody who hasn't been here to come check it out. We are in the northern rolling hills of Appalachia, and we most people down here, that what they'll tell you is that they love it down here. There ain't a lot of jobs. There's not a lot of opportunity. But if you can etch a living out, there's beautiful scenery and great fresh air. I started my cannabis career here, actually right down the road at Hocking College, when I enrolled as a student back in '02. And I took a dendrology class, and that class was all about plants, all about trees. And that's the class that kind of changed my life. Ever since then, I was like, well, how I love smoking this plant. Why don't I start learning about it? And that propelled me into a 2-decade long growing. We've been growing in these hills. At the height of my illegal career, as you call it, because now that I have my daughter, I have exited from the way that I used to live. Now I just help people that do that.
And now it's legal.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, at the height of my career, I had 55 lights rocking. So we're not talking about, a basement full of grow weed. We're talking about constant production 5 times a year, every year, all season. And then, of course, when we could use God's great earth, we would use the sun during the seasons that we could. And I just fell in love with the culture and the learning opportunity. Studying this plant from a biological perspective creates no attention deficit. Like there's so much going on, so much to explore. So after being out of school after I left Hocking, I went to Rio Grande University in Gallipolis, Ohio, where I got my bachelor's in environmental
That's where
studies.
Bob Evans is at, right?
Yep, down on the farm. That's right.
I did a commercial for Bob Evans over there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nice. Did you actually go down there or cut it somewhere else?
Yeah, it was at the Bob Evans farm.
Yeah, cool. I'd love to see that. You ought to send me that through text sometime.
Yeah, I gotta find the actual video. I'm just like an extra in the video, so like I don't have like a huge part, but you just see me walk in and out of the restaurant.
Very cool. Yeah, man. So then I was out of school for like 4 or 5 years, out of my bachelor's degree, just growing dope. And then one day I was like, I just missed school. I love academia and I miss it. And I said, I better go try to get my graduate degree. So I showed up at Ohio University, out of school for 5 years. All I've been doing was growing dope. I got so lucky to meet who is my mentor still to this day, Dr. Art Tracy. He had 40 years of soil biological experience. So he gave me a chance and he let me into the sustainable agriculture program here at Ohio University, Porter Hall. I'm sure you've walked past there many times. And yeah, so each one of those steps was a huge, monumental point into where I am now, which is trying to legitimize and etch out a career with the plant that I love, do it legally. So yeah, lots of ups and downs, lots of challenges.
What do you feel as though like some of the barriers?
I
Obviously,
will say, I like those cans you got up there on that shelf.
I do a little bit of support.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
You already know. You already know. This is what y'all got to do. You
So,
got to get the brand out there.
what are your thoughts? Like,
What's up? Let me cut out again. And it's also one of the challenges that a lot of people don't talk about. Appalachia and I mean, uh, like internet service. My bars is going in and out. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? There you go.
I can, man.
What was you
Got your
saying?
back. I was just wondering. I mean, like, you're pretty up to date with all this information. How do you think they're really reasoning with themselves? Uh, not hearing more testimony. They're just kind of going back and forth.
I mean, they do what they want to do. Like, it's no real. I mean, you could have 40 people come and tell you not to do something, and you like, no, we can do this because we can and we want
Yeah,
to. And there's an agenda. And, I think unfortunately, a lot of people aren't breaking the structure down and seeing like who's in control of the lobbying for the most part. So, like when you really look at what's going on, like you can point to certain organizations that are directly in line with telling the legislature what they want to get done. And so like when you look at all right, somebody like OCAN, which we see this industry that's been propped up and sold over $3 billion. Okay, well then we know that that association also has this separate entity and arm that they're leveraging to lobby for them at the State House. So they take money and profits from the people for these companies that now sell weed. They spend money to be a part of this organization. Then they use this organization and those 3, 4 people who work for that organization to then lobby all day, all week at the State House, and they get kickbacks and they say, hey, well, yeah, the hemp stuff, the kids, like they're giving them the talking points, right? And then like whole time the legislature isn't listening to people like yourself, actual farmers, actual people who've been on the illicit side of it, people that are on, institutional sides of trying to create policy for education and curriculum for a whole nother demographic of workforce development, right? Because we're not even looking at cannabis industry as workforce development,
yeah,
or as healthcare, or as, yeah, we've been inundated with the alcohol and mental health and pills and all this issue. And then we got something like cannabis, which is like, well, it may not be the best for everybody, but a lot of people are choosing this with having less reaction than alcohol, which domestic violence, which is going to lead to way more other health illnesses, drunk driving, sexual assault, like all of these different issues that stem from this drug. But then we're going to go full force against cannabis, which again, we're going to take the money. Oh, wow, it's making a lot of money, but we don't want to expand it to make more money. We don't want to market it. We don't want to educate people properly, because if you educate the children, more likely the children won't smoke it or consume it until they're old enough, right? Like we've all been young before. We sneak and do stuff because we've been told that it was bad and you shouldn't do it. And you're like, oh, let me go try it because people that told me not to do it. So it must be something about it. And then I do it and it's like, oh, well, this is it. Or maybe I don't even like it, So I think it's a backwards mindset that Ohio has, and our politicians, I mean, they say it on the record. You know what I mean? We'd rather be more concerned with selling our kids weed than Miller Lite. Like they're telling you, like So, you know, when you just see what's going on from the federal level down to the state level, they do what they want and people are allowing it to happen. Nobody's really challenging them. You know, there hasn't been a blackout yet. There hasn't been a true anything. You know, as long as people are making money, you know, that's all people care about. As long as people got their weed, you got a whole demographic of people that will just go to Michigan. Okay, I'm just going to go to Michigan. So I don't know. It's a huge issue. I feel like people are afraid to talk about it. Um, but we got to talk about it. And I appreciate you for coming on to talk about it. Did I lose you again? I think I lost you. I lost you again, my friend. This is what happened though when you're trying to have great conversations. You know, the powers that be. Let me see. The powers that be don't want you to make stuff shake. But we're gonna keep it going. I think they're gonna make me end up buying I'm using the free StreamYard right now, so one day they probably gonna make me buy it because I'll be going over my time limit. But I gotta get ready to get out of here, man. I appreciate Josh for coming on. Hopefully I can get down there to Athens. Let me see if I can get back on. There you go.
I don't know if that was on my end or your end, but
well, when you went blank, I kicked you off just to see if you can come back.
Cool.
Where'd you lose me at?
Because
you got pretty.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking, it's just a shame, that people. It'd be nice if we could get enough people to gather up there, like storming the state house, like this ain't gonna go.
Yeah.
But the truth is, man, it's hard to get people rallied up too, because even like today, it's like, well, I could have been at the state house, but what am I going to do? Tell my students, hey, I got something. Like, these students are more important to me than going and arguing with somebody that ain't listening.
Well, and that's the problem too, though. We got to get the students involved. For so long, the youth have been neglected, and they don't even know that, one, they are being used as props, right? They are the children that the politicians are talking about. Whole time you have people with children. I have children. You have children, and we're in this industry. You're like, what are you talking about? Kids are going into the gas station getting X, Y, and Z. So again, you're talking about older 18, 19-year-olds. Well, still, we need to be educating our 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds about the potential harms of these products. Look at the products. I mean, you can go in the grocery store and they can buy a pack of something that's harmful. But why aren't we trying to educate them? Why aren't we using the money that's being made to educate? You know, that's my issue. Why is the money just going to a group of people just to inflame their pockets, and that money is not going back into the system to, again, build more healthcare, give better education, more resources to families, right? More resources to entrepreneurs. And so again, it's a political thing where, I mean, I'm in the position of, I can be privileged if I want to. I know how to move around. Like, I'm gonna be okay. But everybody else, I don't know. But again, you can only tell people so much. And again, people have their own battles, right? There's so many other agendas at battle against cannabis. So there are people that are fighting against cannabis, which a cannabis initiative will help their initiative. You know what I mean? So in a place like Ohio, I just see a bunch of different sects in their own little ideology, like their party, and they have their one agenda, and that's what they stay on. And so there's not a lot of nuance of cross collaboration with opportunities. I believe cannabis sits at the intersection of the majority of issues that we're facing in society, and folks are afraid to make that connection. So I don't know how to do it. That's why I started Ohio Cannabis Report, to hopefully, you know, have conversations around it. I'm a young black man in America that if I'm too loud, I'm arrogant. If I'm smoking weed, I'm high, I'm crazy, I'm lazy. Like, what do I know? So I can only do so much. People see my wife, that's my wife, but like she can only do so much. I don't know. I don't have white privilege. I don't have none of the things where I could go blow some shit up and potentially get off because I was mad. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta stay in my zone.
Yeah, and what about, speaking of kids? What about the custody rights they took back away?
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about this. My baby mama is awesome. We got a
Right.
great relationship together. But think about the people that don't have as good a baby mama as I got.
Yeah.
Now, if you're now under this new Senate Bill 56, if you go, if your co-parent thinks marijuana is an issue, they can actually hold that up in court against the parent for custody rights.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. The whole legal issues behind it is a whole nother thing about kids. And that's why a lot of people don't speak up about it as well, right? Publicly, because if you have children, if you have a custody issue, that can become a very, very huge issue. And like, I mean, I'm married. Me and my wife have a great relationship. Me and my kids, and cannabis has always been my thing. But I do understand not everybody has that same situation. But I also think that's why folks have to speak up for their rights, right? This is a civil rights issue. Like, this is not just, especially if you're not endangering anybody, you know um yeah, it's, I don't know.
What are you rolling up?
Oh,
I hear that.
I just harvested some, so
I seen, bro. I seen. Yeah, you're
I'm
having
trying
fun gardening.
I'm trying to be like y'all, I'm just learning. I'm just learning the game. Hey, it's the law right now, so I got to do it while I can.
Yep. Yep. Very cool.
This is my first harvest ever. So like, I never was a grower. I was always just smoking weed. Like, again, I played football. I was in the spotlight. I couldn't be doing dumb shit. So, I'm like, I smoke it, go buy it, roll it up, I smoke it. But I'm not buying it, I'm not growing it, I'm not selling it.
Yeah.
So when we got legal in Ohio, that's when I started talking, because I'm like, I've been consuming weed since I was 17, 18, but I've also been in the public eye as an athlete, which again, they're demonizing us for smoking this joint, but we all smoking weed and they make us feel better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but then again, like, you only have so much power as an athlete, because again, it's the court of public opinion. And so I can't fuck up, because if I fuck up and I get cut or I get put in a situation, I don't really have nothing to fall back on, where other people, they have stuff to fall back on. So I had to keep my nose really clean, and that's why I've been so much more vocal in cannabis once I got my med card, because I was like, yeah, I've been smoking. I got a degree in healthcare. I was like, they're not teaching nobody about weed in healthcare. You know what I mean? They'll give you all the drugs and pills and take you everything. They nowhere talking about the endocannabinoid system. Nowhere they're talking about terpenes, the entourage effect. Nowhere they're talking about CBD, CBG, CBN, helping people with sleep, nerve damage. In athletes, you're a guinea pig. So you're dealing with so much pain and pressure, mental health. And it's like, well, I could take these pills that's going to fuck my stomach up, or I could take this weed, which is going to help me relax, calm down, have a good time, and filter out my brain and all the stuff that's going on, right? But again, you don't have a lot of space to express that, because again, you're just a tool for the system most times. And so people see you on a pedestal and they just assume, well, oh, your life is so good. You're a scholarship athlete. You have a beautiful girlfriend and wife. Oh my. And it's like, we dealing with hella pain. We deal with the same shit everybody else dealing with. We just perform better under pressure than most people, because we've been trained to do so. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean we don't deal with pain. It doesn't mean we're not vulnerable. We don't deal with anxiety, depression. And then when the game's done, people be like, well, why'd they spiral out of control? Like, well, no, duh. Like, he was dealing with a lot of pressure. He had a system in place that was supporting him. Oftentimes you're in those positions and the systems support your habits, right? Like people know that you're on drugs, but again,
Yeah.
they're protecting you because you are making money for the system. So, I played most of the guys I played with smoke weed. Our backup quarterback was the biggest drug dealer on the team. You know what I mean? At OU. So, but the problem is like you're demonizing this plant when it's like dudes was smoking that coming to practice doing really well, or smoking and going and being an all-American. Like I was an all-American smoking weed, you know. So while they're like, oh well, weed makes you lazy, weed makes you not function. Well, I had good grades. I was a full scholarship athlete. I became an all-American. I was top 10 in the country in interceptions my freshman year. Like smoking weed. Tried out for the NFL. Like, and still kept my sanity. My parents got divorced my freshman year. Wasn't able to come to a bunch of games. I'm around rich kids with money, and I'm broke, but I'm a scholarship athlete on TV every weekend. Make it make sense. And then if I get caught in a piss test, they gonna put me on ESPN and say, well, he failed a drug test, and so now he's a drug addict. And then all the NFL teams are gonna look at that and be like, well, we don't want to recruit him because he's a weed head and he's not a superstar. So the superstars they'll let slide. But if you're just an average guy, no, we don't got time for that. So, but again, people don't understand their power, right? Your voice, your story. And that's why I created Ohio Cannabis Report, Athletes in Cannabis, because we don't have any excuses. We all have these smartphones. We all have social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and people are waiting for somebody to prop them up. Start your own, share your own story. You know what I mean? Because that's really where everything comes. It's really in your story. Like all of us can grow weed and sell weed, but what's the differentiator? Why somebody gonna go buy your weed versus my weed? Well, I like his personality better. I like his story better. I like the Appalachian vibe better. It is what it is. And now we all have that opportunity to leverage it. And that's what the mystique of being an athlete. Oh my God, like they've done all these cool and great things. Like, yeah, it's pretty cool, but it's also a lot of bullshit, you know what I mean, that you got to deal with. Like you got to deal with people looking at you like you're not human. Like you're not dealing with the same issues that you're dealing with. It's just magnified. So I don't know. I don't know the answers. That's why I just try to use my platform to share that, hey, I know people that are doctors, lawyers, politicians, entrepreneurs, athletes, musicians, coaches that smoke weed. I know people that do other heavier drugs, right? So I know doctors are prescribing all types of pills that'll fuck you up, right? You can go to the doctor right now and you're getting fentanyl. So we just going to judge the person on the street for having fentanyl because they don't got no insurance and can't afford to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
So I just have a problem with the whole structure of the system. And obviously I'm a black man in America that has been educated. I have been around wealthy people most of my life. So I went from the hood to being around wealthy middle class people, political people, then to Athens, then to Columbus. And I'm like, oh, ho, ho. It's a lot going on, you know what I mean? And I could be in a lot of spaces because again, I'm a football player. So people take good care of me. They see my wife, they take good care of us, right? But once they know the story, and it's like, oh, he's not really from around here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's a little bit, once I started speaking that real in Upper Arlington, I was like, I had to get up out of there.
Yeah. I remember you telling me some stories. Yeah, you got some neighbors, huh?
Yeah, so but they all around. And unfortunately, like with this government shutdown, people are going to realize SNAP benefits getting cut. People are going to realize like a lot of people are going to get hurt that, voted for somebody that's hurting you. And it's a cancer within the entire political structure. So it's not just the federal government, it's the state level government where we have what $3.9 billion in the rainy day fund. And DeWine's like, no, we're not going to open up the rainy day fund to help anybody that is going to lose SNAP benefits.
Yeah.
We got $3 billion with much money worth of taxes sitting in a fund. Oh, we're not going to release this money because there's no language in the law that says we have to give this money to cities. Oh, we're going to take social equity out of this, but we'll give it to the cities now. Like, come on, man. Like, and there's billionaires. Call out the billionaires. People are afraid to call out other humans that are controlling these entities. Call them out. Brian Stewart, call him out. Call like Chair Thomas, call him out. These are people, they're working for you. If you have a job and pay taxes, you are their boss, period. Act like it. And Ohioans need to act like it, and you can call them out publicly via the internet. And I think a lot of people get scared. Oh, they're going to attack me. They can't attack all of us.
Amen. Hey, do you got any insight? What's this new governor going to look like?
I mean, what do you mean? They got people running. So you got Amy Acton and you got Vivek Ramaswamy. And I mean, Vivek looks like he's going to get the GOP love and support, which is going to be super weird.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about, because I don't think it's Ohio.
But he's a tech guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, Ohio's groundswell is different. Like, I feel like people really work covertly in Ohio, so there might be a blue wave. But I'm just, from how I'm seeing it, they got so much money. They got so much money, and they use that money to manipulate the ignorance of Ohioans in a real way. And so that tech money, bringing all these tech jobs, data centers, I don't know. Amy Acton, I just feel like her, so far, her push doesn't seem to be, it's not aggressive enough. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be pussyfooting around with these people over here. Like, they don't care, and you can't just be all timid. So I don't know. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. Low man on the totem pole over here. So I don't have no insights. I am not who y'all think I am. Oh, we can't hear you. We can hear you. How's this new law going to affect app girls? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and log off. Let me see.
Oh, and my phone's charged.
All right, there we
All
go.
right, how about that?
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
we can.
Awesome. Okay,
And then we're gonna have
be
you.
back.
Let me have you answer this one last question. I got to get out of here. Kevin B says, "How is the new law going to affect app girls cannabis?" And first of all, this is not a new law. The law hasn't. This is a bill that they are trying to turn into the law. So nothing has changed. The ban has been blocked until December 2nd. So just to put that out there.
Yeah, so as of now, what's really changed is at first there was we'll see you guys. My students are getting out of here.
Later, guys.
They're they scared everybody, right? So
Right.
like the sales, when the executive order come out, the
Right.
sales
That's why
just
they did it.
scared
That's
a
why they did
lot
it.
of people. Um, but then, man, we shipped all our product out of state because I wasn't about to have line come wrap up all the financial capital we have in embargo for 90 days. We would have been out of business if that would have went through. So we essentially had the semi trucks at each of the stash houses,
Right.
and we exported them into different states.
Mm.
Then we got this release on the ban, so now we have to haul them all back. As
Right.
far as I'm concerned, the wine just cost us about $3,000
Right.
in delivery and gas and semi charges.
Right.
So although the law and the ban or the proposed legislation or the executive order by the governor although not a lot of stuff actually has changed, but it just caused a lot of panic, a lot of upheaval, a lot of unnecessary. We were about to break our sales numbers. You know, my team is grinding, hustling. We were every month we were getting more
Awesome.
and more, and this just yeah, hustling. And now we you know we'll be
Oh,
back
it
up, but yeah, we
scares the
got set down
retailers.
a peg. Yep, scares the retailers. But then there, you know, before our trucks, before the stuff that was in Indiana had a chance to leave Indiana, we sold a couple pallets in Indiana. So we're trying to like look at all
Expand.
bright side and try
Right.
to turn things into positive.
For sure.
So we're happy to open up new states. We'll see how it goes in December, but um, I have a feeling the governor's ban's gonna go or not be in place on December 3rd. I think we're gonna get to continue seeing.
Right.
Yeah, you can take this. Yeah, you guys have a good one. But what's most exciting is that if say Senate Bill 56 does pass, we
Mm-hmm.
still have 210 days before they can enforce that.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, it's back to business for us, even with our 50 milligram drinks for at least a half a year,
Right.
um, which I'm very pleased with. That gives us more time to build brand, get our
Right.
products in people's hands
Right.
before we got to tell them they can only have 5 milligram drinks
Right.
at a bar or 10 milligram drinks at a carryout.
Right.
It's like we need more time to separate ourselves before that happens because there's a lot of people making 5 and 10 milligram drinks. You
Right.
know, it's a whole bigger space to be in. Most of the big name people, even the people that had money to back, App Girls built this beverage company off of this part of our business was built off of $30,000.
Mm.
We're just hustling like that. Nobody else can do that. There's a ton of money into it. Uh, they didn't want to take the risk with
Right.
25 and 50 million. That's where we navigate most fluently.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is when there's a little bit of risk that other people don't want to take.
Right.
It's hard, like that was our move. We were doing the things that the Anheuser Busches and the Coors people weren't really willing to do yet because the laws aren't stable.
Right.
Once this Senate Bill 56 gets put into place, and they know exactly where the law is, oh buddy, we're ready for combat because there's going to be a lot of competition out there, and we just need to make sure that our products top notch and that people resonate with our mission, like you were saying earlier about
Right.
the story. Like who do you want to support? The Anheuser Busch granddaddy, or some people that are hustling from the bottom up.
Right. Nah, man, we love it. Let the people know where they could find you, where they could support App Girls Cannabis, where they could purchase products, and all that good jazz. And then we're gonna let you go.
All right, I got to pick up my little one too. So good timing. Uh, Go to Appalachian Girls Cannabis Company at www.appgirlscannabis.com. Follow us, App Girls Cannabis, on Instagram. Share, like, and subscribe. Check out our YouTube page. Oh, that's a good looking can right there. Uh, so YouTube really just contains our testimonies at the State House. So if you're really looking to see previous testimonies from us, go to our YouTube. Other than that, it's just Facebook and Instagram for now. Um, but we plan to, get our social media platforms more varied. So hopefully we'll be more active on some of these other ones soon. But that's where you can find me for now.
That man, appreciate you, Josh. Appreciate all the work you guys are doing. Appreciate App Girls Cannabis. Thank you to all our followers, our subscribers for tuning in. Until next time, peace.
See you guys. Thanks. Thanks, G Moore Jr.